The I-40 and San Mateo reconstruction project is wrapping up. The $41 million state project's been going on for about a year. It includes a new bridge, wider shoulders on the interstate, and improved merge lanes. The Department of Transportation says it should be finished by the end of this month. Now, that project is the final piece of a $1 billion makeover of I-40 in Albuquerque. But before drivers can even breathe a sigh of relief, we found out the state has a $1 billion wish list of construction projects for I-25 through the city. News 13's Tim Maestas takes a closer look in tonight's special assignment.
The work along I-40 began back in 1989.
33 projects, 16 interchanges at a cost of, probably over $1 billion.
20 years worth of rebuilding and widening the freeway in Albuquerque finally comes to an end with the completion of the I-40 San Mateo interchange this month. But it's not over yet. There's another interstate in town.
If we could write a blank check, we could probably come up with some pretty good projects. There are corridor studies in effect for I-25 right now.
It's probably going to be another $1 billion to work on I-25.
The state and the Mid-Region Council of Governments have already identified the priorities. The so-called S-curves along I-25 at Lead, Cole, and Cesar Chavez.
Those are very dangerous in terms of just movement of traffic.
Also the bottleneck from Comanche to Montgomery.
Anyone who's traveled I-25 northbound during evening rush hour has to be familiar with the slowdown just north of the Big I, with drivers trying to get through, enter, and exit all at once. That could require some major rebuilding. The most recent traffic flow analysis shows that half-mile stretch from Comanche to Montgomery is the busiest in the Albuquerque area, with more than 180,000 vehicles every single day. But the area causing the most concern is actually further north on I-25, and you can probably guess what it is: I-25 and Paseo del Norte.
The regional board has made Paseo and I-25 the #1 priority for the region.
It's the biggest priority with, of course, the biggest price tag. Rebuilding the interchange is expected to cost about $350 million, an expensive fix for a congestion problem sparked by growth.
The dilemma, though, is that we've never caught up. We've always been behind.
A federal grant application has been submitted in the hopes of securing $250 million to help with the Paseo project. The reality is, though, with the economic slowdown, much of the work on I-25 will have to wait. Exactly when any of it will begin is very unclear.
Even though we may not have the funds to go forward with some of those projects right now, you still do the advanced preliminary work in order to ensure that you've got everything ready to go if at some point in the future you come up with the funds necessary to facilitate building those projects.
Tim Maestas, KRQE News 13.
The state is looking at all the interchanges and bridges along I-25, not just Paseo, to see what needs an overhaul. The DOT says the Montgomery-Montano interchange is a particular problem spot, something that tens of thousands of commuters already